Hold on. Vernon Jones just nuked the Democrats from orbit. And he's from Georgia like me. So you know I had to do this story. Come on, America. Let's get it.
I know that I can, 'cause I know who I am. Since the day I was born, I am night strong. I know that I can, 'cause I know who I am. Since the day I was born, I am night strong.
Sponsors are so important. With all the craziness that's going on in the country right now, you need to connect with folks who have solutions. That's why I have partnered with the God, Guns, and Life PAC. They are standing for God when others are tearing down statues. They are defending religious liberty and the Second Amendment. And they provide the tools you need to protect the sanctity of life. So support the battle for good over evil and save the American Republic at godgunslife.com, godgunslife.com. You know it's funny how the Democrat Party seems to think that all black people should be the same, that all black people should think the same, all black people listen to hip hop, all black men supposed to wear their pants sagging and with the gold teeth in their mouth, that all black women are supposed to be hood rats and expect to only attract the worst type of man to continually perpetuate a cycle of fatherless homes. This is what the Democrat Party keeps pushing out through the music industry in Hollywood because they want to keep us down. They feel that we're supposed to just be a certain way and just accept the status quo and just be so appreciative of them coming into our communities and telling us to vote for them. It seems that way. But the beautiful thing about what Vernon Jones was talking about in his speech about being an independent thinker, being able to see the world for yourself, make up your own mind, and if things just don't look right, if things just don't sound right, then maybe, just maybe, they ain't right, especially with the Democrat Party. And he started off with something beautiful. He talked about the work ethic of his parents and his faith in God on how it brought him to be where he is today. And I like that. And I just want to play just a wee bit of what he said. Check it out.
And I'm part of a large and growing segment of the black community who are independent thinkers, and we believe that Donald Trump is the president that America needs to lead us forward. This is no time for sleeping in the basement. Joe Biden has had 47 years to produce results, but he's been all talk and no action, just like so many of the Democrats who've been making promises to the black voters for decades. We've been their captive audience. When President Trump sought to earn the black vote, the Democratic Party leaders went crazy. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer literally started wearing kente cloths around the U.S. Capitol, as if pandering were enough to keep us satisfied. Let me tell you why I'm supporting our president. I grew up in the South, in Laurel Hill, North Carolina, Scotland County, the Green Pond community to be exact. My parents, Robin and Rufus Jones, built with their own hands a 4-room cinder block home with no indoor plumbing. They had very limited education, but they instilled in us a strong work ethic that drove me from those tobacco fields of North Carolina to those hallowed halls of the Georgia General Assembly. My parents taught me if I believed in God, worked hard, and treated every person fairly, there was no limit to what we could achieve.
Okay. You get that. That's very important, especially in a day and a time where the Democrat Party is trying to take God out of everything. Even when they're having oaths in Congress, especially in the House, you got Jerry Nadler telling people that they don't even have to say under God or so help me God. This is where the Democrats are. They are becoming extremely to the left, and so far left, they trying to leave God behind, but you can't do that because God is the principal figure of our country. God is the principal figure of our faith. God is the principal figure of who we are as a country, as a nation, as a people. And another beautiful thing that Vernon Jones on how he just nuked the Democrats and all of their talking points. He talked about the things that President Trump has done for the black community. You know, the guy that's just so freaking racist that all of these Hollywood celebrities and rappers was all around the man, you know, when he was helping them. But when he ran against Hillary Clinton, all of a sudden, he became racist. But this is the same racist orange man bad that gave a historical amount of money to HBCUs. And if you don't know what a HBCU is, it's a historically black college or university. Now, Obama could have did this. Other administrations could have did this, but Vernon Jones talked about how Trump did this. He gave him a historical amount of money and then guaranteed it for 10 years. That's something to say. And speaking about education, let's just talk about before the babies get to college. Just talking about school choice. When the babies are little and their minds are impressionable, Vernon Jones talked about how Trump delivered school choice and is pushing school choice for our babies to be able to have the opportunity to go to high functioning schools and escape low functioning schools. Now, let me tell you why that is so important. Education is the key to form a child's mind. And if they are constantly in an environment of low expectation, victimization, and no help whatsoever but the status quo, then guess what? They are going to perpetuate the cycle of wherever they are. But when they are introduced, when their minds are challenged, when their minds are uplifted, when they are supercharged with some opportunities, then 9 times out of 10, that child will move on past where their parents are, making parents very proud because the parents get to work hard to put those kids in better schools so the kid can be safe, learn in a very positive environment, and be able to seek higher learning to create a better lifestyle later. See, this is what Vernon was talking about. I just put my little YG magic on it. But also, Vernon Jones broke down how Trump also was, guess what? Letting black people out of jail. It is so crazy because the very people, the Democrats, who always talk about Trump so racist and he hate black people, but with the criminal justice reform that Trump did, so many black people were let out of jail. And I wonder how those black people got into jail. You know, it was something called a 1994 crime bill by, you guessed it, Joe Biden, who was so happy to see black people go to jail, and it was co-signed by the Clintons, who were so happy to see black people go to jail, who leads the Democrat Party, who have oppressed black people for generations. And Joe Biden has been in government for over 40 years. Where is the hope and change? There is no change but the change in his pocket. That's how little he cares about black people. Matter of fact, Joe Biden was saying that if you don't vote for him, if a black person has some qualms about voting for him, then they ain't black. Well, let me tell you something, Joe. Just like Vernon, just like so many others around this country, you don't own me. And guess what? I'm very black. So I love that when he was talking about with that. But I will also tell you this, with opportunity zones that Vernon Jones highlighted on what Trump was doing in black and urban areas, giving them those opportunities. Because like I said, with the school choice, that's for the babies, education for the babies. Okay, boosting HBCUs financially on a historic level. That's to help those babies when they become college-minded and they actually ready to get into the world, get their education to get them ready. And then guess what? The opportunity zones help them build the business on now you done spent all this money as a parent on getting them educated. Now they can actually establish themselves and start developing generational wealth. Do you see how that works? But the Democrats don't like that because they like to keep black people broke. And guess what? And if people are broke, they are submissive to you and they need you and you have power over them. So I will say this. I enjoyed night one of the Republican National Convention. And I look forward to talking about night two. But Vernon Jones, my fellow Georgia brother, God bless you. Great job. And I will say this, man, for everybody out there that loves this country, God bless you and everybody that you hold dear. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.